Hi friends, welcome to OPA Studies. This is part 51 in Azure Data Factory video series. In this video, we are going to discuss about join transformation in mapping data flows inside the Azure Data Factory. So first thing is what is join transformation in mapping data flows, and the second thing is how to implement it with a practical demo. Okay, so first thing is what is join transformation. So So join transformation is actually it's similar to joins inside the SQL actually. So you can combine two streams, or you can combine two sets of data using the joins, and then whatever the output of the join you can use it in your next transformation. So like that you can make use of it. Okay. So since you are going to combine two types of data, I mean two sources, right? So whatever the columns you have in the both the sources, all the columns will come as an output actually for you. Okay. So let me show you the practical implementation of it. Let's go to Azure Data Factory. So in this data factory, if you watch my past video, let me show you something. Search like Wafa studies inside the YouTube without giving a space here. Then open my channel and go to playlist here, and then open the Azure Data Factory playlist. So inside this Azure Data Factory playlist, if you scroll down in part 50, we have discussed about aggregate transformation in Azure Data Factory. So using this transformation, what we did is, let me show you that. So inside this storage, we have a input folder. One second, let me show you that. Inside this input folder, I have the two CSV files, employee and department. And this employee data is looking something like this. Let me open that and show you. So this employee.csv file has the data like this: employee ID, name, country, and department. Okay. So what we did is we have created a transformation here, total employee department transformation. So this is the data flow. Inside this data flow, we used that employees data as a source, and we performed a aggregation on top of it, uh, on top of department actually. So what we want to achieve is actually we want to achieve total number of employees by department. Okay. So this is what the sync actually what we did. So if you preview the data here, let me refresh this and let me show you. So here we get a department ID column, and for each department, what is the total number of employees we have. So we get that kind of data set inside the output folder actually. So meanwhile, I can show you in the storage. If I go back here, if I go back to output folder, so inside the output folder, we have a file called total employees by department. This one, let me click that. And here in the output window, you can see by clicking the edit button, what is the output. So this is the output we got, department ID and the number of total number of employees inside that department. Okay. So now, so same output here also you can see, right? So now what I want is I don't want to show department ID here. I want to show the department name here. So for this department ID, we have the department name associated, and that information will be available inside the department.csv file. So if I go back to my input folder once again, so inside the input folder, I have the department.csv file. If I open this department.csv file, here you can see for each department ID, what is the department name, right? So I want to make use these values actually instead of making use of this department ID. So to achieve this, what you need to do is actually you need to join this output, whatever the output you are getting, that output you need to join with the department.csv file, and then that output you need to publish as a sync. Okay. So let's try to do that. Okay. So let me delete that sync. Now let me create a join here. By clicking this plus sign here, I am choosing the join here. So this is the join. Okay. So this join on department column, right? So okay, for this join, the left side stream is going to be aggregate on top. Okay, you can see here, similar to joins, you need to provide the left side and right side streams information. Okay. So here left side stream is okay. So whatever the aggregation output we get, we want to use that as a left side. Let me show you what this step is giving. Let me go to data preview. Let me click refresh. So this is going to give the aggregation output. I mean, whatever the aggregation we perform, that group by logic by department, right? So that aggregation output it will give you. So as I said, if you are not sure what this step is doing, so please watch here plot 50. Okay. Let me go back to my data factory. See, here I am getting department ID. See, this department column is nothing but department ID and these total employees. Okay. So this data has to be joined with department.csv. So we need to get department.csv file first as a source here. So let's click this add source here, and let's give the name for this source as departments. Okay, and let me select a dataset for my department.csv file. So this department dataset, this department data dataset is going to point to that same file. Let me click this open icon and show you. See here, I am going inside the connections. You can see inside ADF demo container input folder department.csv file. That is where we are pointing. Okay, so we are good. So now here I want to use these departments as right side stream for this join. So let's go to join. So here right side stream, select the departments. Okay, so now we are good with, we are able to join. You can see the blue lines are connected with the join from both the ends. So now here you can use any type of joins actually, full outer, inner join, left outer join, right outer join, or cross join. You can do anything, whatever the actions you perform normally in the SQL, right? So all those kinds of joins supported here. So in my case right now I want to use the inner join. So let's select that. Now from the left side stream we have a column called department, right? So let's use that. Okay, and from the right side stream we have a column called department ID, so let's use it here. So this is where the condition on which I want to perform the join. Okay, so now let's go to data preview and let's try to preview the data by clicking this refresh. After join, what is the output I'm getting? I just want to preview that data. So I can click this refresh button in the data preview to view it. So how it is able to achieve, because I have enabled data flow debug option here. We have discussed about data flow debug also in past videos here. So please watch there. Okay, part 48. So let's come back here. See, I am getting from the left side department ID, total number of employees, and from the right side department ID and department name. So we are good. So we need to publish this information into sync. So let's add a sync here. Select this plus icon, scroll down, select the sync here. So inside the sync, you need to provide the data set inside which folder or inside which location you want to publish this data. Select this output data set. So this data set is pointing to my output folder actually. If I go to connections here, you can see that it is pointing to output, right? So let me close this. So here, right, inside the settings, I can define, okay, I want the output to be inside the single file, and here I can provide the name for the file also. Maybe total employee by department latest.csv. Okay, this is my file name, and you need to set this partition as single. So let's click OK there. Then inside the mapping, so now let's go to data preview and let's try to refresh and see what data we are getting actually. So that we need to do a slight modification now. I will show you that now. So it is fetching the data. So let's wait for few seconds. It is going to fetch the data for us. So we got the data, department employees, department ID, department ID name. So I don't want all this. So what I want is department name and the total number of employees. That too, this department name I want first column and total number of employees as a second column. So these two columns I don't want. So let's try to implement this. Let's go to mappings, disable this auto mapping. So here you can see all whatever the columns you are getting. So I don't want this department column, and then I don't want this department ID column also. So let's delete that. So now let's come back to data preview and let's try to refresh once again. So now it should get only total number of employees and the department name. Let's try to visualize that in the preview window. So this will take few seconds every time. Okay, so please bear with me. Okay, so we got the data, total number of employees and the department name. But I want department name to be here, first column, then total employees is to be the second column. So that's what I want, right? So let's go to mapping once again. So here, right, you can select the column like this and you can drag that to up. So you can rearrange them. Okay. So like this. Now we are good. Let's go to data preview once again. Let's try to refresh once again whether we are able to get the columns in a proper order. That means first department name, then second column should be total number of employees. So let's check that. It should work. Okay. Because we have changed the mappings just now, right? So it should work for sure. Let's see. Great. See, we got it. So now we are good with it. So let's publish this and let's try to run this inside the pipeline also. Okay. So to execute the data flows, whatever you created, actually, you need to use a activity called data flow activity. And inside that activity, you need to say use this data flow for the execution. So like that it should be. So we have discussed that also in my past videos. So that's why I will always recommend to watch all my videos in a sequential order. So we have discussed that in the parts 47 actually. Okay, let me come back here. So let me go to pipelines. Okay. So here let's create a new pipeline. So let's say, okay, pipeline one, that is one. So inside the move and transform, let's try to use a data flow activity. So for this data flow, let's use our data flow, total employee by department. Click OK. Okay. So now here, right, what I want to perform the debug run. So I don't want to trigger it. I want to perform the just debug run. If you want to trigger, you need to publish and then you need to trigger. So let's use this debug option for now for debug run. Okay, so now see the deploying pipeline to the debug mode is started and it is running our pipeline. You can see inside the output window the status is in progress. So it will take few seconds. Let's wait for the debug run to complete. Okay, okay. So pipeline execution is successful, right? You can see here status as success, right? Okay. So now let's go to our storage location and let's try to inspect whether we got the new file or not. Let me scroll towards right. Let me close this window. Okay. So we are right now inside the input folder. Let's go back to our container. We should go inside the output folder and to try to see the file newly file created or not, right? So let's go to the container once again. So here we have the output folder. Once again it is loading. So output folder, let me open that output folder. So now we should have get that new file created, right? Total employees by department latest.csv, right. Let me click this csv file and let me show you the data inside it, whether we got a proper department name and the total number of employees columns properly or not. Click this edit button to view the data actually. Okay, see, we got it. Let me click the preview. See, department name and total number of employees. So we got it, right? So now we are able to achieve this requirement, right, properly using our join. So that's how joins actually help you in the data flow transformation logics. So join transformation is very helpful. So hope this given a clear idea about how join transformation actually works and how you have to make use of it. Okay, let's go to our presentation. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and press bell icon to get notifications whenever I add videos. Thank you.